Hello, I'm Joanna Garcia. I want to share with you another little tip because I'm getting messages from people saying, yeah, I like these, keep them coming. It's just the easiest thing ever. I know this is going to be really irritating, okay? Because things are in reverse and I haven't yet figured out how to flip the screen on Facebook so that music is not in reverse. Very irritating. I want to tell you about this because it's just the easiest thing. And this little tip that I'm going to give you is especially if you're learning something or if you're a teacher, you are wanting to work on a specific section. So for example, I've got a student, I know this is going to be in reverse for you. I've got a student who's working on the List Liebestraum for their diploma. And I'm thinking at this bit down at the bottom, I do apologise for it being flipped. I know it's really irritating. So if you were learning this and you wanted to perhaps work on these two bars and just on those two bars, but you know what? It's a bit like Easter eggs. You know, sometimes when you open your Easter egg, and I don't know what it is about Easter egg chocolate, but it is delicious. There is something about Easter egg chocolate that I don't know what it is. I swear they've got a different recipe. When you're eating an Easter egg, it is so tempting to just continue, right? It's so continue. Just continue eating. It's so good. And you know what? It's like that when you're practicing. So if you're wanting to practice these two bars and you're wanting not to go further, it's so easy to keep gorging yourself, right? So this is where the sticky stopper comes in. Here it is. The simplest thing. However, there is a rule with the sticky stopper. There is a rule. Right, now hear me out. The rule is that with the student, whoever the student is, whether the student is a child, a teen or an adult, you have to name the sticky stopper and you have to take the first name. And sometimes I'll go with a name and sometimes I'll just say go with the first word that comes into your head. With the children, it's usually something rude. You have no idea how many times we get Bob. Now, here's the deal. When you do this, make sure that the sticky side, now I don't know, I'm trying to do this to your left, but I suspect it's the other way around. Is that to your left? You want the sticky side to be to the student's left, and I am going to write on the word Bob. You've got to write something on because otherwise you can see the notes through there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, well, we're working on these two bars. Obviously, I'm working on all of those few bars with my 7-year-old. No. And I'm quite simply going to place Bob there. So when we're working on this little section, unless you've memorised it, it's pretty impossible to go past there. And then both as a teacher and as a practicer, and believe me, sometimes I even do this because, you know, our self-control when it comes to these things can be a little bit haphazard, shall we say. You pop Bob on there and then it stops you when you get there. And then you can do it repeatedly. You can do it separate hands. You can try it at different tempi. You can do all of the practice techniques that you know or your teacher tells you. But you're working in detail. I was reading yesterday an article by Murray McLaughlin, and he was talking about the importance of microscopic detail practice. And sometimes we're not always good at doing that. As teachers, it's something we're continually working with our students to try and develop, that they get into just looking at tiny little passages and enjoying the process of getting right on top of those. So I think the sticky stopper is one of the best, the simplest and the cheapest tools ever as a piano teacher or as a pianist. The rules are, and this is the law, if you don't do this, it is actually the law that you've got to give it a name, and you have to take the first name that the student says, even if it's ridiculous. By the way, anybody know this just before I go? YouTube has just told me that I've unlocked the community function on my channel. What does that mean? What does that even mean? Do I need to have some kind of public toilet? What is going on? What does it mean that I've unlocked the community function? Should I be having a Kaylee? Should I be opening up a steel band? I really don't know what it means. If you know what it means, do let me know. Right, I'm gonna disappear. Wherever you are, have a wonderful evening. Thanks for joining. See you.